Welcome back. When I start my phone, it starts to swing like crazy, so we just have to wait till it swings out. We're going to do row 2B, which is a little bit different because it says we need an inside stitch in the front, and in the front means the yarns lay over, so we're going to start in the front. Then it calls for 2, 1, 2 in the back, then 1 front, and then 1, 2, 3 back, and then 1 front again, and then 2 back, and then the side stitch over. So we're going to do that as a chainless setup. So we always start with 5. So here I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I lay this chain of 5 over the trellis I just made, and I pick it up. I keep that stitch here in front of my work because the bottom of this part, or the start of this part, is all at the front of it work. You can also put it at the back and the front, but it says in the drawing everything is in the front. If it's different, I will tell you and I will show you how to do that if I use a different stitch in the front and so on. The yarn goes over twice. This chain of 5 is a post already, and that covers our first window. See, this chain covers our first window here. So we're going through the back because it says 2 back, through the back of that window here, through. See, really you're going through the window. I'm going to lose this a little bit, and then you're going into that first stitch, trying to get those 2 loops. See, those 2 loops, then pull it backwards. See, pull it backwards. Don't stitch it yet. Now you go yarn over. You're going to do the first stitch. You're going to do immediately, oh, I'm dropping a little thread here. Going to do immediately chain 1. See, for that chain at the bottom. Then you're going to create those 2 loops we're going to use again, and then we're going to do like a normal double crochet, and we're going to chain 1 immediately because it's interlocking. Now it looks a little bit weird, but we need to pull this yarn to the front. Look, we need to pull it to the front here. See, and you see your window is in the other window. I will lay it down a little bit so you can see it. This is the start of my chainless setup of row 2B. There, B is the color, and row 2 I changed it instead of 1A, 1B, because a lot of people think, do you have this row twice? No, you just do 1A and then 1B. A and B are just a reference for the color. Okay. See, so I made my first window, which is interlocked with a trellis of which I made in the previous video. Okay, we're going to do our next stitch. Yarn over twice. It is another back. It says 2 back. So you're going through the back of your window here. There. You're going to find those 2 stitches you made here. See? Those 2. This is your chain. These are the 2. You're going to put your crochet hook through it and pull backwards. So don't crochet anything. Pull it backwards first. Sorry, I hope I was in the middle of in the center of my camera, but I don't think so. Then you pull your yarn through. You chain the first one again, immediately chain it. Then you make your 2 loops we're going to use in the next stitch, and we finish like a normal double crochet with a chain 1. Twice yarn over. Okay, let's see. Well, the twice yarn over is gone now, but now you see this window is covered by the first front. See, this window is covered by that back, and this window is covered by that back. So now we're going to this window. But what does it say? It says now we need to do 1 in the front. Okay, well, that's exciting. Twice yarn over. In the front of your work, that means you go over the orange yarn. So we're going to work in the front See, you pull that stitch out, you find those 2 stitches here, put your yarn through, you're going to pull your yarn through, you chain the first one immediately, we make those 2 loops we're going to use, and you finish like a double crochet, 1, 2, and chain 1. I'm going to show you, see, and now it's in the front. See, we didn't went through this window, but we went over this window to the front and pulled this little 2 stitch here a little bit out so we could find it. And this is covering your 4th window. We got 4 posts, 4th window of your trellis there. And what does the pattern say now? It says 3 back, yarn over twice, and this stitch is covering this window. See, this stitch here, this post here is covering this window, and so we need the next window because this one is already covered. So you go into the next window there, you find those 2 loops again, you find those 2 loops. Despite how your work looks, don't worry a little bit how it looks, just pull it through your work. Chain the first one there, then make those 2 loops we're going to use in our next stitch, then finish like a normal double crochet, chain 1 there. And as you see, stretch your work a little bit. Every window is covered by a post. This post is covering this window, this post is covering the next, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. This is how it looks at the back. See? And we're going to do our next stitch. Yarn over, it's another in the back, it's another B. So we're going through the window again. See, through the window with our hook. I'm going through the window, yarn over twice, through that window. Yeah? I'm going to find those 2 loops. I'm turning always my yarn a little bit. There, if I can find those 2 loops, sometimes it's a little bit difficult, sometimes it's easy. I found them, pull them through the window again. See, not anything else. And now you start crocheting. See, first yarn through, you crochet your first single crochet there, you make your 2 loops we're going to use, and you finish like a normal double crochet, and immediately chain 1 and yarn over. And we need 3 back, so 3B. So we're going through that window again with your hook and going to pull that yarn a little bit forwards because we need to find those 2 loops. And those 2 loops are here, if you can find it. It's a little bit difficult with this yarn because it's really a little bit loose. It's very fluffy. I love this cotton. It's Paris Drops. Very cheap, very thick. Great for pot holders. I wouldn't use it as, how you say, for a blanket. It will go very heavy. Pot holders are the best, by the way, with an 8/6 cotton. Okay, we're going to pull the yarn through those 2 loops. We're going to crochet the first one. And then make those 2 loops for the next stitch and finish with a normal double crochet, and we chain 1. Immediately yarn over. What does it say? The pattern states now after the 3B we do 1F. The 1F, that means in the front, so you're not going through the window, you're going over the window. Not through the window, but over the window. So we're going over the window. See, it's front. We find those 2 loops. See, stays over the window. Yarn over. Chain the first one. Chain those 2 loops and finish like you make a normal double crochet, and then chain 1, and immediately yarn over twice. See, and here we have the pattern now. 1 in the front, 2 back, 1 front, 3 back, 1 front, and the pattern states now 2 back. So we do 2 bees. Twice yarn over. This post is covering this window, see here. So don't go through this window, because then you will not have the right amount of stitches and you'll have 2 posts in one window. It's only 1 post in one window. We're going through the window because it's back. See this, your hook stays back behind of work. Find those 2 loops. We got this stitch, and if I'm not mistaken, it's these 2 loops. Let me put my hands more in the center. Pull it backwards because it's a B. Back, 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 back. Yarn through. We chain 1 immediately, and we make those 2 loops we're going to use again in the next stitch, and then the post for the double crochet. Oh, see, that's a little extra yarn there, and then chain 1. It says 2 back. See here, and now you go to the next post, 2 back. Find those 2 loops again, which is here. I'm always turning and rotating my work. Pull it to the back. See, now it's behind. It's back of work. There. Yarn through. Chain 1. Make those 2 loops again to reuse in the next stitch. And then finish your post and chain 1. Yarn over twice, and we end with an inside stitch front. And front is always front of work. So we're going to pull the yarn to the front a little bit. See, pull this stitch, pull the post to the front. Find your 2 loops you're going to use, that are these. See, this is the single crochet. We put your yarn through. We're going to chain 1, and make those 2 loops. We're not going to use anymore because we are at the end of this row, and we finish. And then I'm doing my 4 stitches already. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this will be my inside side stitch back for row 4B. So I don't have to chain that anymore. And I can hang it so nicely to the back. And I will show you now why I chain those 4. This is not really nice yarn to stitch in with these little stitch markers because I'm not getting all the yarn. Whoa, that takes a lot of time. I'm glad I don't have there. And this is how your work looks at the front. You see, we have each window covered, and now I turn it around, and this is how it should look at the back. See how stretchy it is. It's still very stretchy. These loops are a little bit bigger than I like to. Don't worry too much. It will hide it. You won't see it, really. Front and back. There. And I hope we're going to see you, or we, speaking the royal we going to see you in the next row, which is 3A. It's not a big project. It's a small little project. Great to learn. Let me already mark that I did row A1 and B2, or 2B and 1A, and I hope to see you in the next video, which will not be as long, but I need to tell you a lot about the next row because we're going to start with the solids, because this pattern is fully interlocking filet crochet with solids.